In question 10, we find the slopes of the line and then determine whether the lines are parallel or perpendicular. We have to analyze this problem. Levy claims that the line through this particular point -6, -2 and 2, 10 is perpendicular to the graph of given equation. That is 3x minus 2y equals 10. Do you agree? Justify your argument. So how can we tell whether they are perpendicular? We need to find the slopes. We have 2 points here, x1, y1, x2 and y2. That is one set of points where we can find the slope by m is equal to y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. That's one thing. And we have a standard form of equation. Now here, if we write it in the slope-intercept form, that is y is equal to mx plus b, then we can get the slope easily, right? And then we can compare. Now here, let me start writing over here. Let me solve this equation. Instead of 3x, I'll move. See, now this is 3x, right? I'll leave that 3x here. I'll move the 2y to the other side. Why? Because I want to make this positive. Plus 10. Now I'll write this entire things first. It will be 2y plus 10 equals 3x. And just take 10 to the other side. It will be 2y equals 3x minus 10. And lastly, what do we do is divide everything by 2. So I'll get only y, because here it is only y, isn't it? So this cancels off. It will be y is equal to 3 by 2x minus 5. 10 divided by 2 is 5. This is done. What is the slope here? See, it's y is equal to mx plus b, right? So the slope is m, that is 3 by 2. Now let's find the slope in this points. That's the points, right? Given over here. It's y2 is 10 minus of minus 2 divided by 2 minus of minus 6. So what is the slope? It'll be minus and minus will become plus. It'll be 10 plus 2 is 12 divided by, again over here, plus. It'll be 8. And the answer would be 3 by 2. That is m, because over here 3. Yes, 4 2 times and 4 3 times. Now look at the slopes. They are same, isn't it? If the same slopes are there for both the lines, then they are parallel. So this is parallel lines basically. And one more thing, when are they perpendicular? It can be perpendicular when you have the negative reciprocal inverse. Negative reciprocal, that's it. Negative inverse. Wait, let me write it. M must be equivalent to minus 1 by m. In the sense, if I have, say, 2 as the slope, the perpendicular line slope will be minus 1 divided by 2. If I have, say, 3 by 2, it should have been minus. Now you can swap this because it's a fraction. It will be 2 by 3. This should have been the slope. We have the same slope, so it's parallel. If it was minus and inverse of that, then it would be perpendicular. So here we do not agree because Levy is wrong. They are parallel lines because they have the same slopes. So that's the things. Since the slopes are equal, the lines are parallel rather than being perpendicular. Again, a similar problem. Jeremiah says that the line through 7, minus 10 and 3, minus 2 is parallel to this particular line. Do you agree? Let's find the slope again. We can find this m is equal to y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. And m is equal to, let's substitute, it will be minus 2. See, it's x1, y1, x2, y2. Minus 2 minus of minus 10 divided by 3 minus 7. And the answers would be, it's plus 10 minus 2, it's 8 divided by minus 7 and 3, that would be minus 4. So the final answer would be negative 2 here. Because 8 by 4 is 2, but minus sign is this, so it's minus 2. Now what about this line? Let's write it. Let me take y to the other side. It's 2x equals y minus 5. And let me take this side first. Y minus 5 is equal to 2x. Or you can leave it like that. It's fine. But this is the easy way to understand, isn't it? And then we have y is equal to 2x plus 5. That's the equation. What is the slope here? The slope here m is 2. Why? Because the equation is given as y is equal to mx plus b. Other slopes equal? No, they are not parallel. It's minus. Other slopes perpendicular? No. If it had to be perpendicular, if m and m, it's parallel, right? But if it had to be perpendicular, if you have 2, then other one will be 1 by 2, which is not the case. So we can tell they are neither. So the slopes are not equal, the lines are not parallel, and it is also not perpendicular because they are not reciprocal, negative, and it's not inverse of each other. Now what about this? Find the error. Alona says that the line through this particular point is parallel to the line through going these 2 points. How can you tell she is mistaken without determining the slope? Explain your reasoning. Okay, now you can see here, she's telling the lines are parallel. That means they will never touch each other, right? But look at this point and this point. What can you see there? They are the same points. So that means no matter what, the line's going to touch somewhere at 5, minus 6. Isn't it? So this is why we can tell she's wrong. Why? Because the lines, whatever the lines are, will be touching at the same common point. Therefore, they cannot be parallel. You can just tell these points are repeated, therefore they have to touch that or intersect that point, so they cannot be parallel. And that's the end of question 10. A very simple one. Just remember the two formulas, the slope-intercept form and the slope formula. Compare the slopes and then determine whether they are parallel or perpendicular.